Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us, JumboCast, for the broadcast of the Tufts versus Springfield volleyball game here in Medford, Massachusetts at Cousins Gymnasium. As we get the player introduction started, just want to remind you all that this is game one of the New England tournament. The rest of the games will be held at MIT. Game one is Tufts hosting Springfield. I am Owen Finnegan, joined by Matt Soderberg. Matt, what can you tell us about these two teams today?
Well, Owen, I think we're set up for quite a night of volleyball. A couple of different perspectives coming into this game. Springfield is looking to come off a couple of 3-0 losses, which is different for them this season, as they've started off very strong and lead their conference pretty well.
Yeah, Springfield stepping in with a 19-4 overall record. Very impressive record from this program that has been super strong these last 4 years under the coaching of Moira Long. Tufts stepping in with a 11-8 record. So a little unbecoming of this Tufts team that's been so good for the past couple of years. Of course, these two teams having a little bit of a storied history. Last two games we played them in the last 2 years have been battles, both going to 5 sets. So little out-of-conference rivals, as we like to call them.
And the upperclassmen of the Springfield team definitely remember taking the loss to Tufts in the regional final of the NCAA tournament a few years ago.
Absolutely. So some injury updates on the Tufts squad. Looks like Kate Dessler is in sweatpants, won't be dressing for today's game, as well as Madison Clay. Not totally sure if those are injuries or just coach's decisions do not play. Of course, we don't have access to the injury report.
Definitely worried for the Jumbos, though, as Kate Dessler is their kills leader on the season, and we'll have to see a little rotation, maybe some new lineups tonight from Coach.
Yeah, 6'1" freshman Kate Dessler is coming huge for the Jumbos this season. We're going to have to see how Tufts can perform without them. As you can see, players wearing pink shoelaces. Tonight is the Jumbo for a Cure night. All proceeds from snacks and T-shirt sales at this game will be donated to breast cancer research. So if you're here, buy a shirt.
Yeah, if you're not, come on down.
Yeah, if you're not, make your way down here.
Yeah.
So Matt and I were sort of talking about this pregame, and it looks like we predicted it that the Bows were going to have some interesting lineups. We can already see sophomore Jordan Crone, number 14, is out on the court. Hasn't seen a whole lot of playtime so far this season, but getting the start for the Jumbos today. Looks like number 15, Jenny Ryan, the other sophomore, will be joining her.
Yeah, with Dessler out, it'll be interesting to see if some Jumbos who don't normally see the court this early on in games can take advantage of the opportunity.
Absolutely. Look out for Haley Kometz, number 13 on the Springfield side. Has had fantastic performances against the Jumbos the last couple of years, and is just a very fun player to watch. Hannah Lozano, the senior, is going to be playing libero for the Pride. The Springfield dresses two liberos, not super normal for most of these D3 volleyball teams.
Yeah.
Those two liberos being Hannah Lozano and Brianna Tovar. Lozano getting the start for the New England Challenge. Getting ready to serve is the setter, number 3, Ariel Zedrick. She sends it in. It's going to be Lozano setting it to Cameron Bancroft. Bows had a little bit of trouble handling that one as it bounces off Mackenzie's bright midsection into the net to make it 1-0 Springfield.
A little bit of early miscommunication, but we'll see what they're going to come back from this.
Haley Kometz on the serve, the senior out of Ardsley, New York, into the net, and it's going to be a pair of mistakes from both teams to start this game off 1-1.
And we'll see if Tufts can, they've had success going ahead early in games, see if they can get a good start going here.
Absolutely. Senior captain Mackenzie Bright on the serve. Serves it to Lozano. It's going to be, I believe, Kometz on the kill. That's Bridget Bell to the opposite side of the court, but it's dug out. Here's Labadorf. And that was Ashley Tanner, so a freshman, not a player who gets a whole lot of run on the Springfield team, getting the kill and getting ready for the serve.
Aker almost able to pull up with the dig there, but fell through.
Yeah, so a couple freshmen on the court for the Pride. Labrador the setter and Tanner the outside hitter. And serves it into the net to make it 2 service errors in a row for the Pride.
That's a couple early lucky ones for the Jumbos so they can stay in this set even though they haven't won a point that's been contended.
Heather Holtz, a player who usually doesn't start for this team again, getting ready to serve. Holtz's serve comes in low and is mishandled by Jen Donnelly, who's been so good for the Pride this year. Donnelly leading the team in both digs and kills.
And maybe Coach Cora Thompson has seen some things she didn't like from the Jumbos over the past year. They're not at the record they want to stand at, and she's looking to change it up a little bit.
That hit is going to be called out of bounds. The hit coming from Katie Von Kampen, one of the pair of 6-footers on the court for the Pride right now, to make it 4-2, Tufts. Holt's getting ready for her third serve. Serve comes in. It's going to be Donnelly to Labrador, back to Donnelly. Tipped by, I believe, Crone. Crone's going to send it over. A little bit of a free ball situation for the Pride here. Donnelly's going to try again. She's
nice
rejected
block
by Jenny Ryan. Tipped over by Kometz. Good vision there.
Yeah.
Great play by Kometz.
A couple of really good digs on that point by the Jumbos, but they weren't able to finish it off at the end there.
So the pair at the net for the Jumbos in this lineup is Jordan Crone and Jenny Ryan, a pair that has not seen the court together very often this season. Another little bit of a misplay by the Jumbos is going to be dunked by, that was, I believe, Katie Von Kampen.
And the Jumbos seem to be struggling to communicate up at the front of the net here. And maybe that can come from the new lineups that have been introduced in this one.
Yeah, you don't get a whole lot of variety of lineups in this Jumbos team. Zedrick sets it up to Bell, which dig goes all the way back. Bell again from the outside. And that ball from Donnelly goes into the scorer's table, almost hits our friend Andrew Anderton, who's doing the PA for tonight's game.
Stay safe over there, Andrew.
Tufts up by one. A bunch of not so clean points from both sides in this first 9
interestingly
points.
messy start for sure.
The junior Rachel Furash with the serve for the Jumbos. Serve comes into Donnelly. Labrador to Donnelly. It's a 2-man game out there. And again, another miscommunication on the Jumbo side.
That was a strong kill from Donnelly right there.
Senior captain Maddie Stewart had a little bit of trouble handling that ball, grimacing to her teammate Jenny Ryan afterwards. It's going to be the the freshman Labrador getting ready for the serve. Here's Bell, powerful, right by Von Kampen.
And that's the kind of point that Jumbos want to get into the rhythm of. Just strong energy directed right at the net.
Absolutely. I do not expect Bridget Bell to be taking much time off so far this game. Probably the second best defensive player on the court after Aker, and probably the best offensive player on the court as well. Labrador, awkward set, and it's going to be a violation. I believe she touched the net.
Tufts has absolutely been able to pull off some early points here through miscommunications on the Springfield side, as well as just some lucky violations right there.
Bell with the serve. Labrador again, that's Von Kampen powerfully. Dug out by Bell to Furash to Bright. There's Lozano. Haven't called her name very much so early in this game. Kometz with a roll shot, no good. Furash to Bright. It's going to be blocked by Von Kampen and Kometz. That was Tanner from the back line. Springfield with a little bit of an early celebration. They thought Kometz dunked it on the Jumbos, but it was a miraculous save. Here's Von Kampen, finds dry ground, and that'll be a point for the Pride.
Springfield has been really strong in keeping these points alive.
Yeah, that was the longest point so far of the day. Good job by the Pride. Serve comes in from Donnelly. Furash to Bright. Bright powerfully, and Kometz couldn't handle it. They call that getting tooled.
I think that's what they call it. You're right. You're right.
8-6 with the Jumbos on top. Sophia Aker getting ready to serve. Serve comes in. Aker have some serving trouble so far this season. Powerfully from Von Kampen. Aker lays out but cannot get there. Not sure why Aker covered that much of ground when Heather Holtz was standing right there.
The Jumbos seem to have some sort of rotational issues going on here early.
Yeah, absolutely. 8-7, and it's the libero Lozano with the serve. A little bit of an awkward set from Furash, but it's handled well by Holtz. Donnelly from the back line. Furash again to Bright. Bright tries to tool Kometz again, but it's no good. Kometz is all over it. Awkward play from Bright there. 2 in a row. Serves it into the net. Hits it into the net, I should say.
Jumbos making a lot of mistakes on their side of the net here.
Yeah, it just hasn't looked very clean. Hasn't looked very mechanical. So the game is knotted at Ocho as Bell digs the serve from Lozano. Maddie Bright looking to get involved early. Stewart again. And that's Stewart with the block, her first point of the game.
Jumbos are taking the lead in this set, but they're still looking to find their rhythm, I think.
Absolutely. Crone comes back on as Stewart comes off. And Zedrick, the setter, is going to be taking the serve. Serve comes in from Zedrick, grazes off of Komet's forearms. Make it 10-8. Great serve. Of course, in addition to the players in sweats on the Jumbos bench, is Katie Zank, the senior setter. So Zedrick and Furash will be needing to pick up the slack. Here's Labradorf. Donnelly from behind the 10-foot line to Bell. And another misplay from Bright.
Definitely some awkward points down here on this side of the court by Mackenzie Bright here.
After a season-high 17?
I think it was 17 kills last week.
17 kills against Middlebury last week. Bright has had a few mistakes early. Jumbos maintain the lead, though. Kometz has that 100-mile-an-hour serve, and it's going to be a free ball for the Pride. Lozano to Labradorf. And that's going to be Bancroft with her first point of the game.
And those 17 kills from Bright last week were not enough to muster the victory, so the Jumbos are definitely looking to not waste another kind of that performance.
Absolutely. Cameron Bancroft with the kill there. One of the many players on this Pride team from New York. Another awkward play from Mackenzie Bright. This time it was a dig. 4 touches on the Jumbo side. Those are the type of sloppy errors that you almost never see from Cora Thompson's team. The Pride with some strange chanting on the bench as they take their first lead of this set. 11-10. Kometz getting ready for the serve. Another awkward play from Bright, not on her game today. Here's Crone from the 10-foot line. It's Crone's first point of the game. Maybe even her first kill of the season.
And it's nice to see Jumbos who have not been getting playing time as much this season to come out here and make an effect.
Absolutely. Crone's kill is going to tie it up at 11 as Bright serves to Lozano. Labradorf, offense going through her. Bancroft denied. There's Tanner way out of bounds. Tanner, another New York native, sends that one out of bounds. Call it freshman jitters. 12-11, Tufts on top. A little bit of an awkward play from Lozano. It's going to have to be a free ball for the Jumbos. Zedrick to Holtz. Holtz tries to roll it over Bancroft. Donnelly with an unbelievable kill, but a better dig bomb. Katie Zhang right back to Lozano. There's Tanner with another powerful kill. My goodness, this Pride team has some serious power from behind the 10-foot line. Here's Kometz right on cue, but it's saved by Mackenzie Bright. Bridget Bell from the outside, and she's dunked on by Bancroft. What a play. What a point from the Pride.
Aker and the rest of the Jumbos actually did a really strong job keeping that point alive, but at the end of the day, the height and the power coming from the Pride has really been overwhelming.
Absolutely. Game is 12-12, which is also my birthday for you folks at home who want to send me any gifts. Way out of bounds from Ashley Tanner.
It's coming up, man.
It's coming up, yeah, my 21st. Can't wait. Should be a good one. 13-12, which is not a date unless you're European. Here's Heather Holtz. To Lozano is on a little bit of a misplay, but Kometz is there. Going to be a long free ball for the Jumbos. They have plenty of time to get set. Here's Zedrick. What a play with a little bit of misdirection there. Goodness gracious, the Jumbos have been doing a good job handling these powerful kills. Speaking of powerful kills, Bridget Bell sends one to the very back of the court to make it 14-12.
She just caught the corner of the paint there, right there.
Much like David Price last night, Bridget Bell painting the corners of the zone.
Hopefully not for the first time, though, like David Price.
From the outside, that's Donnelly. And it was only a matter of time before Donnelly found her groove. 14-13.
It seems like every time in this set that even either team goes up maybe 1 or 2 points, you know, they've been keeping it really close, and no one's been able to pull away with much more momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. Fast-paced set here so far. No timeouts. Points are going back and forth. Not a whole lot of long points. Here's Jenny Ryan from the outside, but it's denied by Bancroft. Bridget Bell, finesse shot, but Donnelly is there. Donnelly rejected by Jenny Ryan. Jenny Ryan's been busy. Zedrick to Ryan again. Ryan sneaks one by Ashley Tanner. Maybe caught Ashley Tanner on the back of her feet there.
And Zedrick has been very strong, I think, from the beginning of this one.
And timeout Springfield. Moira Long is going to call the first time out of this game.
So the Jumbos lead 15-13, about, halfway through the first set here, and it's been an interesting one. A little bit messy.
Yeah. Especially, we were expecting maybe some misplays on the Tufts side, but from the new players, not from the veterans.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Bright having some uncharacteristic mistakes early in this game, sending a few balls into the net, misplaying a few digs.
You guys are covered with a couple kills. I think they're pretty strong, and hopefully the veteran leadership on this Jumbo team will be able to pick it up and get involved with the younger players, the sophomores that are getting more playing time right here.
Absolutely, and something that's just been a theme of this Pride team the last couple of years has just been the power from so many players, and the Tufts players have to be a little bit spooked by how fast these kills are coming in, and I have to say they've been doing a fantastic job with the digs to handle them. But Kometz, Bancroft, Donnelly, all their kills are like 100 miles an hour.
It's certainly a strong front. It's something that'd be intimidating to go up against, but
glad I'm not out there.
Absolutely, I don't think I'd survive. But Springfield has been they've been strong and powerful, but they haven't been able to harness that with the kind of accuracy and precision that they'd like to get back in this one.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Matt, which I think is why they called that timeout there. Maybe you get them settled in. Of course, playing Tufts always a big game for them. But like you said, coming off of 2 losses.
Two uncharacteristic losses, 3-0 sets.
Alrighty, much of the same for both teams here. Lineup-wise, Furash getting ready to take the serve. And she does. Kometz. Labrador, Donnelly. Donnelly no good. Labrador, Bancroft that time. And a misplay from Donnelly to make it 16-13, just what we were talking about.
Coming out with a strong point for the Jumbos right out of the timeout by Springfield.
Jumbos doing a good job avoiding Von Campen on the Pride side. Von Campen, of course, leading the team in blocks. Could be second in the team in blocks. Zano calling for it. It's going to be a free ball for the Jumbos. Furash to Bright. Stewart. Wrong captain. It's going to make it 17-13. You'll see when the Jumbos get those free balls, they love that misdirection play.
They absolutely do, yeah.
And it seemed to be working for them so far.
And they want to get their captains involved. They want to start, bringing the same kind of power that Springfield brings at them,
Yeah, absolutely.
Just in terms of momentum, I think that's really, really important for the Jumbos here.
Another quick timeout from the visiting Pride, and can't say I'm surprised.
No, someone went in there and they didn't come out the way they wanted to.
No, that misplay from Donnelly. So Moira calling another timeout, and
definitely not satisfied with the effort she got in the 2 points out of her first timeout.
Not what you're looking for, ATO, as the broadcasters say.
That is what they say, and they certainly they don't want to let this set fall away from them as it nears the 20-point mark. Jenny
Ryan and Maddie Stewart, the first back on the court for the Jumbos, followed by Bridget Bell, Rachel Furash, and Sophia Aker. I always do that.
I'm sure she minds.
Donnelly on the court, as well as Von Campen, Labrador, Kometz, and Ashley Tanner. Song check for you folks keeping score at home. That was Black Beatles by, I believe, Ray Sremmer, a song we haven't heard in a while here at Cousins Gymnasium.
Yeah, I like the variety.
Yeah. Furash with the serve sends it in to Lozano, and it's another tough set from Lozano, and Jenny Ryan takes advantage.
Just a misplay on the dig there from the Springfield Pride, and certainly not what Moore-Long is looking for coming out of timeout.
No, absolutely. Yeah, two rough plays out of timeout. As we see some celebration from Maddie Clay and Katie Zhang on the bench. If my cameraman Lucas can hear me, maybe we can get that celebration next time.
Maybe we could.
Free ball for the Jumbos. There's that misdirection again. Bell thought she found a split, but Labrador was there. Here's Kometz from the 10-foot line, dug out by Furash. Sophia Aker calls for it. Stewart from the outside. Roll shot. Good dig from Labrador, but it's going to be a free ball for the Jumbos. Aker to Furash again. Good block by Von Campen. Here's Stewart. Awkward play by Tanner, but the Pride recover. Free ball for the Jumbos. And Jenny Ryan, 2 points in a row from the sophomore.
And that's the kind of powerful hit the Jumbos are looking for. And the Jumbos bench, they may be down in numbers just compared to Springfield, but they certainly are not lacking energy over there.
Jenny Ryan making a big impact in this first set. Another awkward dig from Pride. Pushed over by Von Campen. Stewart, and it's going to be blocked out of bounds by Von Campen. 20-13, as Tufts pulls ahead with their largest lead by far of this set.
This has been a rapid pull away, and we'll see if Tufts can finish this off, or if they're going to if Springfield will draw the set out.
Absolutely. Another bad dig. And Stewart is the one to take advantage this time.
And even more than a jumbo surge here, I think we've seen almost a collapse by the Springfield side. Just not communicating, not rotating, and then not hitting their digs.
Yeah, mechanically the fundamentals just seem off. Those digs are should be something that they have down pat, but have caused some issues in this first set. Furash into the net. So if the Pride are to strike, now would be the time to do it, coming off the service error by Rachel Furash. Labradorf on the serve. It's a short one into the net for their third service error of this set.
I'm sure Coach Moralong will have a lot to say after the first set.
Yeah,
just some basic errors made by this Pride team that have kind of kept them out of this one.
Long intermission for this Pride team coming up, assuming the Jumbos are managed to close out, which Bridget Bell is looking to do here on the serve. Labradorf. New player for the Pride is Demi Spanos. Mackenzie Bright with a kill.
And it's those shots that she was missing earlier, and it's certainly good for her to be hitting them now and taking a leadership role here.
Yep, both captains on the court for the Jumbos. Bridget Bell, her second serve, comes in to Spanos. There's Kometz, pushes one over. Akers there. Bright looking to get her second in a row, and she does to make it 24-14, Tufts by 10.
And as we approach set point for the Jumbos here, we have to ask what happened to the Springfield Pride team. They came in so strong, came in with the power, but as soon as they took their first time out, they seem to have collapsed and have won, I think, only 1 point since.
Yeah, wheels came off the wagon, as they are to say, as Bridget Bell knocks one over. And Matt, you know what they say, an ace is an ace.
An ace is an ace, and that could not be a more perfect way to describe this whole set. A real summary right there. A messy but pretty strong set for the Jumbos as they came out and they finished very strong, winning 10 of the last, I think, like at least 11 points to take the lead here in this game and set themselves up well.
Now, keep in mind, for you jumbo volleyball fans
yes.
at home, one issue that this Tufts team has faced so far this year is closing out games when they have a lead in terms of sets. Of course, they were up against Bowdoin, and Bowdoin came back and won. They're up against Amherst, and Amherst came back to win both games going to 5 sets. So you know that Cora Thompson sort of fused both coaches there together.
Yeah.
So you know Cora Thompson is telling her team, we may have the lead now, but we have to play like we don't.
Yeah. And they have to earn their confidence as they haven't been able to close them out, and they're definitely against a team that has been strong all season and will not be a quick kill.
Yeah, absolutely. We mentioned Tufts having twice the amount of losses as the Springfield team.
Yeah.
So I think both teams, as well as some fans, as well as maybe some broadcasters, are a little surprised by how that first set went.
I'd agree. I think the Springfield Pride, maybe we're seeing a little bit leftovers from those 2 games they lost last week. Maybe they've lost a bit of their steam here, but they still only have 4 losses on the season, and they do have a really good standing in their own conference. And so I think that they're hoping to kind of both get back on the train here in this game and also for their whole season.
Some telling statistics for you numbers nerds at home. 4 serve errors for the Springfield Pride, while only 1 for the Jumbos. So 3 free points for the Jumbos in terms of net points. Leaders for each team in points is going to be Von Campen with 3 on the Springfield side, and Bridget Bell and Mackenzie Bright, as well as Jenny Ryan and Maddie Stewart with 3 on the Tufts side.
Friend of JumboCast, Bridget Bell, with a strong start here.
I should say friend of JumboCast, proud member. Jenny Ryan, of course, we mentioned, player who does not play very much. She got some run against that Amherst game. Comes in with a 600 hit percentage so far in this game. So almost flawless from the sophomore so far in this game.
The San Francisco native bringing that the California perfection, as they call it in the volleyball circles.
You know, we'll get into this later, but we do like to discuss the demographics in terms of state representation on each team. So maybe next time out we can talk about that.
Absolutely.
But with 30 seconds separating this intermission from the second set, the Jumbos take their court. Of course, the Jumbos, interestingly enough, wearing their away browns in this game.
Bold choice, but they do say the Jumbos are brown and blue, so they can be flexible.
That's
brown
true.
and blue.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Maybe don't know if it was just a fashion choice, if it was maybe trying to change up the mojo, as the home whites have not provided a whole lot of luck for the Jumbos so far this season.
I think the cameraman suggested that maybe the libero was just looking to wear blue for once.
True, yeah, good point. The powder blue is a good look. You know, I
think so.
I love the San Diego, or I should say LA Chargers powder blue throwbacks.
LA Chargers.
And I think it looks good for the Jumbos as well. So Pride will have to take the court here pretty soon, as this intermission is now over.
Interesting to see Jordan Crone out there again. Definitely a lot of sophomore representation here for people that, players that have not had significant playing time. But, Coach Cora Thompson liked what she saw in the first set, and she's not looking to change right now. Absolutely.
Listening to Antidote by, I believe, Travis Scott.
I think that's the one. Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. So that's what will be playing us into the second set here.
And I'd be interested to know who chose the songs here at Cousins Auditorium. But
it's worth figuring out, actually. Interesting note for the Springfield side, although this is subject to change. Brianna Tovar, the freshman libero, is on the court right now, and she will be staying on the court. So a two-libero look. Those liberos being Hannah Lozano and Brianna Tovar. Because Tovar leads the team in digs, plays a little bit more than the senior Lozano. Nevertheless, two liberos taking this court.
And we'll see if maybe that's what Moore Long was at issue with in the first set there.
Of course, Tovar will not be playing the libero position, as you can only have one on the court, but is listed as libero on the roster. Ariel Zedrick to Crone on the outside. And Tovar, tough welcome to this game.
That'll wake you up.
That will wake you up. Because Tovar from Tucson, Arizona, a state we do not see represented very much in D3 volleyball. Although I do know the University of Arizona has a very good D1 volleyball program, but this is D3, folks.
And that's not Arizona friendly.
Janet Donnelly tries to get one past Zedrick. No good. Bridget Bell dug out. Kometz tips it over. Can't find dry ground. Holtz does the same. Labradorf. Blocked by Holtz. Tovar with a high set to Donnelly with a good kill, but a better block by Jordan Crone. We've got a long point here in Cousins. Free ball for the Pride coming up. That was Kate Bonsignor. And another strange play from the Pride side. Matt, tell us what just happened.
I'm not even sure. Some kind of miscommunication there as the ball rolled over in the net. The Holtz, Bell, and Crone combination at the front of the net is intimidating. It's tall, and it's pretty strong right here coming out of the second set.
Yeah, it looked like Bonsignor thought it was going into the net. Another misplay from the Pride side. But the first misplay, it looked like Bonsignor thought it was going into the net, but it sneaked over, hit her on the back. And this one just looked like a miscommunication.
And then at 3-0, this is not the Pride team we expected to see in this game, nor in this coming out in the second set.
Bright putting together a good string of serve for the Jumbos. Labradorf to Donnelly. Donnelly from the 10-foot line grazes off of the hands of the blockers. Who's Bell from the outside. Not a very powerful hit there from Bell. Pavard, another high set to Donnelly. Can't sneak it by. Aker, good communication. Bright from behind the 10-foot line, and she sneaks one by Lozano. What a kill from Bright. 4-0 as Bright gets ready for another serve. Her, I believe, fourth in a row. Bright, low serve over the net. Labrador trying to get Kometz involved. Labrador back to Bonsignor. Crone with a dig back to Bright. It's going to be tapped over gently. Kometz with some strange spin on the ball. Interesting move there. Crone is denied by Donnelly and Bonsignor as the Pride do their blocking celebration. Not sure I have a name for that.
I don't know what words could really describe that, but certainly a lot of energy and numbers from the Springfield bench as they like to see their team get back in this second set and back in this match.
Yeah, one thing I've learned from watching Springfield the past couple of years, as great serve from Donnelly there. Bell from by the scorer's table. She's going to be called out of play. Bell didn't look thrilled with that call. But one thing I've learned from this Pride team, watching them the past couple of years, is that they have some strange celebrations and rituals prevalent in this team. That is a service ace for Donley, and that's exactly what I was talking about.
Maybe
right?
those rituals are working because they start inching their way back into this set, down only 1 point.
I'll call it a comeback as the Pride are down 3-4 to the Jumbos. Donley with her third serve. A couple good ones from Donley so far. Bowing right into Bright. Bell! Sense some anger behind that kill.
That is the way to take the momentum right back. You could see on Bell's face she was not excited about the Pride making this competitive at all.
Good news.
She definitely sent them a message.
Yeah, absolutely. Good news for the Jumbos fans as Jenny Ryan steps in. Jenny Ryan had a great first set. As we mentioned, 600 kill percentage and leading the team in points. Lozano, tough dig, tapped over, and that was, I believe, Demi Spanos.
Zedric unable to get over there for the dig, but still, a little bit of miscommunication there on the Jumbo side, reminiscent of the beginning of this match.
Yeah, nice roll shot from the 5'9" freshman. Her first kill of the game. Zedric to Bell. Bell with another kill.
Bridget Bell has really anchored this team here and has kept them on top in the second set. Is definitely bringing the passion and kind of the energy that I'm sure Coach Corey Thompson appreciates.
Absolutely. With the Pride comeback suppressed, it's going to be Furash on the serve. Strange kill from Donley, handled well by Lozano. Miscommunication between Donley and Spanos. I think both of them hit the ball there. Both of them hitting it into the net.
And they certainly bumped into each other, and I'm sure they're not happy about the way that point came down.
Yeah, absolutely not. Furash had a good string of serves in the first set. He's putting together a good one here. Low serve to Donley, picking on Donley again. Kmetz. And that is a great block from Bell and Ryan. You won't see Bell get a lot of those types of blocks.
Tufts has come out in the second set and presented a strong front at the net. And it's been tough for Springfield to even get any of their attempted hits across.
Yeah, great point about something I didn't even consider as Furash so graces off into the net and falls in for a point. But something I didn't consider that you brought up, Matt, is how good the Jumbos have been at the net today without Christina Nwangpa, who leads the team in blocks per set.
They've definitely made up for her absence here.
Furash with, I believe, her fifth serve in a row. And a good dig to boot. Right from the 10-foot line. Was it out of bounds? It was.
And Springfield is happy to see a couple of those calls. They've really been out of sync here in the second set, and they've had some good moments, but they haven't been able to string a couple points together, and maybe they can look to do so here.
Kmetz looking to capitalize on the Jumbo's error, which, as Matt said, the Pride has not been great at. Serve comes into Aker. Furash in the setter position. Bell! That looked out of bounds to me, and it was.
Couple of close shots for the Jumbos right there, and this could easily be an 11-4 game.
Absolutely. Kmetz serves again. Furash, a little bit of an awkward move there, and I thought it grazed the Pride blockers, Bancroft, but I guess it did not. And third out of bounds in a row for the Jumbos.
Couldn't quite see it, but there was definitely an awkward set there, and they were unable to recover.
And just like that, Springfield only down 2. Furash trying Bell. Bell, great dig by Kmetz. He's going to go over the net. Close call there. There's Stewart. Odd play from Lozano, a one-handed dig. Sent over by Spanos. Out of bounds. Great read by Bright.
And that's the kind of smart play that Corey Thompson expects from a senior captain, I think.
Yeah, that's spatial reasoning, I think.
Spatial reasoning, yeah. I think there's a class on that somewhere.
Bridget Bell, who has been solid in this second set. Labradorf. That was to Bancroft. Labradorf again. Trying Spanos this time. Out of bounds. I think the last 5 points have all been out of bounds.
We've yet to see something Finewood in the court, but and there we have a timeout called, yeah.
So, Matt, as you mentioned, timeout's not super effective for Springfield in the first set.
They haven't been able to come out of one and win a single point, so we'll see if Moore-Long has a more effective message. And, I'm interested to think about what she's talking about right here and whether, the Jumbos haven't dominated this game. They've played strong at the net, but the reason they've held such a strong lead, I think, is due to a lot to Springfield Pride mistakes. And Moore-Long would like to shore things up on her side of the net so that they can start really going to battle.
Yeah, I'm just surprised at how a few times we've called Kmetz's name.
Yeah.
Been such an offensive leader for the Pride these last few years, and tonight hasn't had a lot of kills find splits in the defense.
Morlong would definitely like to see Kmetz get more involved, bring her younger players into it, and get back into this one.
Since this is a Springfield timeout, thought I'd hit you all with a Springfield statistic because it is just mind-blowing.
Please.
But Jen Donnelly is averaging 2.97 kills per set and also 2.94 digs per set. So pretty much 3 kills and 3 digs per set while adding 0.54 blocks per set this season.
Playing on all sides of the ball right there.
Yeah.
That's the kind of player you want.
Few players can put it all together like that. Reminds me, for all of you diehard Jumbo volleyball fans, is Mary Maccabee of the Jumbos was a player with very similar statistics. She's been graduated for a few years, but Jen Donnelly, a leader on this Pride team. Labradorf with the set to Spanos. Awkward play from Bright there. Not sure what that was all about. So it's going to be a free ball for the Pride as Bancroft slams one home.
Seems one more long set in this timeout may have had an effect as the Pride come out with a little more energy right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Have to be relieved by that point on several levels. First, it wasn't out of bounds. Second, it was after the timeout.
Maybe it was the Imagine Dragon song, though.
It could have been the Imagine Dragon song. Spanos, the freshman, with the serve. Push over by Bright. And guess what, Matt? That was out of bounds.
That was out. And it was a smart play, though. She read the defense pretty well, but she was unable to place it where she needed to.
Absolutely. You know, this set is playing pretty close. Tufts had the lead all set, but this Pride only down by 2. And that's a bad dig from Bright. It's going to be dunked on by Bancroft.
As we near the halfway point of this set, you know, we talking about set number 1. We sat in a similar place, and around here was when the Jumbos really be able to pull away. And we'll see if that pattern continues or if Springfield can turn it around.
Can Spanos tie it up? Let's find out, folks. Bright getting ready for the kill. Spanos with the dig. Set to Donnelly. Right into the waiting arms of Bell. Stewart's ball outside. Out of bounds, I should say.
And the Jumbos haven't been lacking in their moves here, but they've been unable to execute exactly as they'd like to with a lot of out balls here.
Good news for all the Palindrome fans out there. The score is 11-11.
It's a niche fan group we have to satisfy.
Bell's dig over the net, and it's going to be reached over, I believe. Actually, that was Jenny Ryan reaching over the net to give the Pride the first lead of this set.
There's not a lot you can do there to read that one because the dig just ended up having a little too much power behind it.
Yeah, a couple rough digs from Bell so far, playing from backcourt. Out of bounds serve from Spanos. So Spanos putting together a lovely string of serves there for Springfield.
But that's the kind of play that can be a momentum killer. You know, the serve goes back to Tufts, and suddenly we're tied up again.
Tovar coming back in, replacing Spanos. So freshman replacing a freshman. Service error from Aker. Not what the Jumbos wanted to see.
And certainly not characteristic of Barrow.
Sophia Aker, big shoes to fill this season. We'll talk about that more at the timeout. As Stewart's kill is blocked by Bonsignor. And at that point, he's going to go to the Jumbos. It's tied up, as a matter of fact.
And we see Crone and Zedrick check back in. You know, maybe Cora Thompson is looking to capture the magic that was the beginning of the set.
Absolutely. Rotating in the setter Zedrick to take the serve. Serve comes in, the set is tied. And this is Donnelly looking to change that. Beautiful roll shot. Good plays from Aker and Crone there. It's going to be a free ball for the Pride. However, Donnelly again finds a split. Bell with a hard fall. Right to Lozano, no good. Here's Kmetz from the 10-foot line, right back to Bell. Another free ball. Bonsignor pushes it over, right to Zedrick. Here's Crone again. There's a long point here. Donnelly going up. Aker finding it. There's Bright out of bounds, and what a point from both sides there.
I mean, Jumbo's really strung together a few really killer digs and a couple hits that really could have found wood, but they were unable to execute right there, and Springfield take the lead here.
Yeah, Springfield doing their homework, knowing Bell does not like to play from that back line. Her natural position is the outside, and you can see she's been having a tough time back there. But Holtz is having a great time at the net as she sneaks one by Lozano. 14-14, and we are trading blows in this second set. Lozano, this is going to be looking like a free ball for Tufts, and it is. Let's see what Tufts can put together. Zedrick to Holtz, and you can see the frustration from Lozano as that ball might have been going out of bounds.
Springfield getting a little bit of their own medicine there with some powerful hits from Tufts.
Absolutely. Yeah, Springfield doing a little bit more finesse this set. It's a good observation, Matt. Tufts regains the lead, 15-14. But Donnelly's looking to change that. Out of bounds just barely.
And that's a great read by Mackenzie Bright. I don't know if she had a chance at that ball, but she was certainly glad it was going a little long.
Absolutely. Two good reads from Mackenzie Bright so far this set. Speaking of Bright, she's getting ready to serve. Bright, the Duxbury native, not far from here. Kometz powerfully. And there it is. That was signature Kometz right there. She is 5'9", but she plays like she's 6'5".
Neither Bright nor Zedrick able to get the dig there. Both looking for it, and that was just a strong serve coming from Springfield.
16-15. This set is certainly closer than the first. Good reaction by Zedrick there. Bell just has to send it over. Spanos from the outside, way out of bounds. And Aker was happy to see that one go out of bounds.
Absolutely. And plays like that by Zedrick have really kept Jumbos in points that they had really no business being in, and they're able to capitalize on a Springfield error there instead of their own.
Absolutely. 17-15, Tufts by 2, and it's going to be Holtz this time with the serve. Heather Holtz may be seeing a little bit more playing time than she's used to, what with all the injuries, namely to Kate Dessler on the Jumbo side, out of bounds again.
This is a good-looking serve with a little bit too much behind it.
Talk about rubbing salt in the wound, a couple vicious dabs on the Springfield bench.
When the dabs come out that this game has become personal and it's crossed a lot of lines.
Absolutely. Look for the Jumbos to respond. Lozano the libero from Stockton, California. There's some sort of communication going on at the scorer's table.
And silence has taken over Cousins. So that's from a few calls from the bench.
Not sure what's going on. Lucas, can we get a close-up of this? Maybe try to get you folks a closer look here.
I'm not sure where the referee issue would be coming from on the last point, but
yeah, I don't think it's anything to do with the score because the scoreboard looks all right to me. Thinking it might be a substitution error on the Springfield side. Coaches have to stay on the bench during these timeouts, during these official timeouts.
That's an interesting rule, I think, for D3 volleyball. It certainly places the onus on the players and their direct referee interaction. But I guess we'll get back to action here as whatever was in contention has been resolved.
Shout out to the scorer's table as the serve comes in from Lozano. And Bridget Bell picks on Lozano, couldn't handle it, out of bounds, 18-16. At Jumbo's up 2.
They had a long time to wait for that point, and it definitely came out. They were ready to send a message pretty quickly.
I never know whether that's an advantage or a disadvantage, whether you lose momentum or get to catch your breath.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Rachel Furash with the serve. Comes in low to Ashley Tanner back on the court. Tanner from the 10-foot line pushes it over, tries to find a split. Furash, good job covering. Stewart to Lozano. And that is a beautiful rejection from Jenny Orion, the star of this game.
And that was a pretty clear, absolutely not sent from Jenny Orion right in the center of the net. And Tufts like that has taken the 3-point lead back in this set and is looking to really put this one out of reach.
Yeah, Tufts 6 points away from closing the door on this second set. Tufts has yet to call a timeout so far this game.
I think that Coach Cora Thompson has liked what she's seen in terms of energy, and I don't think she wants to disrupt that.
The flow is just so much better since the second half of the first set and the second set. It didn't look promising for the Jumbos at the beginning.
They definitely sorted out whatever issues were plaguing them in the first few minutes. And perhaps with a lot of new players getting a lot more playing time, maybe they were a little rusty or a little less used to gelling with each other. But they've definitely picked up on each other's energy and chemistry, and they've been making fewer and fewer mistakes.
Absolutely. Moira Long's team coming out with a point after their last time out. I actually believe it was 2 points in a row. So they're going to repeat that success and closing the 3-point gap that separates them from the Jumbos.
And as Katy Perry plays, we can see definitely a different sense of energy from these two benches. A lot of dancing on Tufts side and a little more serious focus on over here on the Springfield Pride.
Yeah, certainly more of a teenage dream for the Pride as they have more freshmen playing than the Jumbos.
Well done. Well done, Owen.
Oh, I cracked myself up. Rachel Furash with the serve. Here's Labradorf with the set. And Aker, a look of despair on her face as she misplays that dig. Point is going to go to, I believe, Cameron Bancroft. Lead is now cut to 2 as Komet takes the serve. Aker, rough dig. Oh, Jenny Ryan off the serve from Rachel Furash. Did not look promising with that dig.
No. Jenny Ryan has been able to find some holes that you wouldn't even expect to be there in the center of the court, and has been able to plague this Springfield defense.
Yeah, making gold out of the lead, Jenny Ryan is, as Bridget Bell serves. Labradorf, oh, nice set across the net to Tanner. Bright for the tough side. Donnelly is there. Tanner forces a strange play from Furash with the rough dig, and Aker with the rough set. 2018, folks. The current year is also the current score here at Cousins Gymnasium.
Tufts is looking to avoid what they've seen in some of their games when they've gone up. They definitely don't want to seem too cocky, even though they've had the momentum throughout this whole game.
Another freshman, Brianna Tovar, with the serve. 5'4", so she is the smallest player on the court, shortest player on the court, I should say. That ball out of bounds by Mackenzie Bright. No, excuse me, landed inbounds.
It is out of bounds, but I think they called contact on the Springfield side.
Thank you, Matt.
So the point will go to Jumbos as they take a 3-point lead. Aker looking to get back into this.
4 points separating the tough Jumbos. Labradorf and Donnelly looking to change that, but it's out of bounds. So the Pride knocking on the door, cutting the lead to 2, but the lead extended back to 4 as we get a new Pride player. That is Gabrielle Bradley, another freshman, taking the court. By my count, 4 freshmen on the court right now for the Pride. There's Gabrielle Bradley into the net. So a little bit of a rough start for her to make it 23-18.
Maybe with the youthful side, Coach Moore Long is looking to generate at least something different, some sort of energy that she has not been able to find with her previous lineups.
Aker ties up Kometz a little bit. Nevertheless, Labradorf plays it well. Looking for the roll shot. Kometz grazes one over the net. Furash to Stewart, another one that grazes the net. Labradorf looking to slow it down, sends it to Bradley, but is blocked by Holtz. Kometz looking to change things from the 10-foot line. She almost sneaks one by, but Holtz is there. Furash is there. Stewart sends one. Kometz playing the defensive side with the block. Bradley atones for her sins, I'll say, with a beautiful kill.
That phrase, yeah, absolutely.
So good play from Bradley there.
It's a nice look down the left line, and Springfield's looking to hold on to this last point they have before they lose.
Yeah, just caught Furash off guard there. A misplay from Stewart makes this set interesting, as it is now 23-20.
I mean, this set has been competitive, I think, from the start, but Tufts has been able to string together some longer, momentous points.
Never say die attitude from the Pride. And they're going to get a free ball here. As Labradorf sets to Bradley. Bradley looking to get 2 points, but it's blocked. Well played by Labradorf on that kill. Tufts getting a clean set here. Holtz, roll shot over the net. Here's Kometz, standing kill. Stewart pushes it over, finds a split between Labradorf and Tovar.
And as we approach set point here, for the Jumbos. I got to say I'm a little surprised that we're in this situation looking as the Jumbos going up 2-0 on this Springfield team.
Yeah, absolutely. Could not agree more, Matt. Zedrick with the serve. Here's Bradley with a strong rejection from Holtz and Crone to end this second set. Tufts up 2-0.
I think that was also a pretty good summary of that whole set. Strong play at the net from the Jumbos. A lot of energy, a lot of positive vibes going on for Tufts as they head back to coach and talk ready for this third set.
Absolutely. So Jumbos, if any of you are maybe confused by their record, especially their conference record, with 3 losses so far compared to the 0 conference losses they've had last semester. As we'll tune in here to Andrew Anderton, I believe giving a little bit of background on the Jumbos for a cure night. So I'll pause my tangent as we listen in here.
Student athletic advisory committee volunteers will be collecting donations and selling t-shirts and raffle tickets during competition today in the lobby of Cousins Gymnasium. All proceeds of which will go to LBVC. We thank you for any and all contributions and for supporting a great cause and organization.
So our friend Andrew Anderton, just giving some background on the proceeds of the raffle and t-shirts.
He did a great job there.
Yeah, a natural broadcaster, taking the lesser position of PA, as we like to say.
You know, not everyone can do play-by-play in color for Tufts volleyball, and someone has to accept lesser positions.
As I was saying, in terms of conference records, Springfield with tied and actually a 3-way first place in the NUMAC between MIT, Babson, and Springfield, all at 7-1. But Tufts, sort of in the middle of the pack of the NESCAC. One of the main reasons being the loss of Kelly Klimo, the libero last year. Just an unbelievably talented libero. Transferred to Villanova, I believe. So Sophia Aker, who had never played libero prior to her college career, had to pick up where Kelly Klimo left off. So some growing pains for the Jumbos early in the season.
She certainly had some highs and lows in this game, I think, proving that she's worked hard to adapt to her new position and has had some really, really spectacular digs here.
Yeah, and that's sort of been the story all season. It's interesting to see Tufts up 2-0. As I mentioned last time that JumboCast covered a game where Tufts was up 2-0, they ended up losing 3-2. So with that loss certainly in mind, they will look to come out in this third set firing as there's about 30 seconds left in this intermission.
And Cora Thompson is definitely cautioning her players, saying, yes, the pop songs are playing, the vibes are good right now, but we have to remember what's happened to us in some previous games this season. And this is not one Tufts can afford to lose. If they really want to move up the NESCAC, this is a non-conference game, of course, but they definitely aim for momentum as they start this New England tournament and head into 2 games tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you mentioned the doubleheader tomorrow, which we will not be covering.
You can head on down to MIT if you're interested in keeping up with your Tufts volleyball.
Another Katy Perry song. I like the choice.
They definitely have a little bit of focus, but it's pretty topical here as we head into this Friday night on Tufts campus in Medford, Massachusetts.
Yeah, so looking at the live stats here, one thing that's striking is just the lack of blocks on the Springfield side. Von Campen, one of the six-footers, no blocks. Cameron Bancroft, only 1. Jen Donnelly and Sarah Labradorf adding 1 as well.
Tufts proving that it's not just height that ends up playing at the net. It's energy and it's also timing.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
they've really been able to figure that out since halfway through that first set.
24 kills on the Tufts side, 15 for the Springfield side, although Springfield 10 more attacks than Tufts. Hit percentage 160 for Tufts and an even 0 for Springfield.
And that's low for Springfield, who usually hit around, I think, 240 is their season average.
Yeah, I believe you're right. So one of the tails of the tape here would be that low hit percentage so far.
Cora Thompson would like to see her team close this out right here. Not let Springfield Pride get anywhere close to back into this one.
Jordan Crone, Heather Holtz, Maddie Stewart, Sophia Aker, Bridget Bell, Ariel Zedrick for the Jumbos.
And Jordan Crone has really been a surprise this game, getting a start, and has been a strong contributor from the beginning, even though she has not had a playing time this season.
Ashley Tanner, Von Camp, and Labadorf. Kometz and Lozano for the Pride. Kometz from the 10-foot line, and a pancake from Bridget Bell there to keep this play alive. Ager just sends one over. This is a free ball situation and a beautiful block. Her second in a row, Jordan Crone.
And that's how the Jumbos would like to start their third set.
Yeah,
keeping that momentum going.
Big smile on Crone's face. Of course, this is a big game for her first start, I think, of her Tufts career. Crone, a sophomore. Zedrick, ball coming in, handled by Kometz. And that was going to be Ashley Tanner tooling on Jordan Crone and Heather Holtz. No, excuse me. 2-0. My apologies. That ball was just out of bounds. Zedrick, and that ball was out of bounds as well. A little bit easier to see that one.
Yeah. And Zedrick has been serving strongly all game, but just gave it a little too much right there, and Springfield had a chance to get right back into this.
Now serving for Springfield, number 14, Haley Kometz.
Andrew Anderton miscalling who was serving. It was actually Ashley Tanner, not Haley Kometz. Here's Jordan Crone. Block goes out of bounds. It was well done by Von Campen, but just couldn't keep it in bounds. It looked like she had her hands all over that block. Here is Mackenzie Bright into the net. Another service error for Tufts.
Couple early service errors for Tufts that has kept Springfield in this set. You know, I'm sure more along would rather see your team actually earn a couple of their points, but certainly grateful to still be in this one.
Absolutely. 3-2, Lozano with the serve, and that one is into the net as well.
I think we've seen a pattern of that. I think that both teams have maybe felt guilty about taking points on service errors, so they just give them right back.
Spot on one.
Yeah, exactly.
Mulligan. Here's Heather Holtz, the 6-footer on the tough side with the serve. Labrador's going to have a hard time handling that one. Yeah, it's going to be a net violation on the Springfield side.
I think Crone went just right over there.
5-2 as Holtz gets ready for her second serve. Labrador to Kometz. Kometz looking to make something happen. Not this time. Zedrick, weird set for Ryan there. That was Bancroft with the kill. That was found by Zedrick. It was Jordan Crone trying to blast one by Bancroft, and she does. Crone's second point of this set.
Jordan Crone has come out strongly in this game, but also in this set. Definitely cementing her place here.
Heather Holtz.
Crone dealt with some, I think, health issues last season. Kept her out playing time. Discovery of a dairy allergy, if I remember correctly.
Interesting factoid there. Another point from the tough side. It's going to be Heather Holtz with the service ace, as I believe that was Spanos mishandling the dig.
And just like that, Tufts has opened up a 5-point lead early on in this third set. Definitely reminiscent of last set as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Certain patterns are evolving in this game. Labadorf again to Kometz. And they're going to call that grazing off of Crone out of bounds. So point to the Pride. Kometz with an early point. Zedrick to Ryan. Ryan denied by Bancroft, and that was a beautiful block.
And the celebrations return for Springfield, who have not had a lot of reason to use them so far.
7-4 lead cut to 3. Kometz with her second serve is dug by Bell. Zedrick back to Bell from the outside roll shot, handled by Spanos. Here's Kometz from right. Yeah. So the issue there was Kometz falling in front of the 10-foot line. The position she's playing right now, she could not cross that line, but she did. It's going to be a rotation error. As you can see, Maura Long getting some clarification on that to make it 8-4 Tufts.
Rare to see a coach rise from a chair during this game.
Furash getting ready to serve. Serve comes in, it's handled by Tanner. There's Stewart. Lozano with the set this time, and it's a good one as Komets blasts one by Furash.
Not a ton you could do that there. The ball's coming in. That's the kind of Springfield power they've demonstrated they have.
Absolutely. Play style matches the city where their school is located. Gritty. Spanos with the serve. Here's Stewart from the 10-foot line. Tries to go in past Spanos, but she cannot. Labrador with another beautiful set, but it is blocked by Bell and Ryan. Bancroft pushing it over, and I believe she touched the net there.
I think a net violation right there. And it's funny you mentioned Gritty as the way of Springfield. Just brings back images of a certain Philadelphia mascot.
Matt, of course, a Philadelphia native and a huge Gritty fan, if I'm not mistaken.
I'd call myself a Gritty fanatic.
Here's Labrador with her serve. My goodness. Labrador really puts these things on a silver platter for her teammates. That was Tanner with the kill.
Springfield showing a little bit more of why they're 19-14.
Labrador with an interesting, that ball went straight into the net. But Labrador with an interesting set style where it's a much more lateral set than you'll see from the Tufts side.
I see that.
Instead of launching it straight into the air, it's more horizontal, and that generates a lot more power for the kills.
Definitely also a riskier strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. Aker with the serve, handled by Tanner. Here's Tanner again, denied by Heather Holtz.
And that has been the story of this whole match, that when it comes down to it, when they're meeting at the net, Tufts has won more times than the Springfield.
Tufts maintaining a cruising altitude of a 5-point advantage as Aker gets ready for her second serve. Aker still getting ready. A little strange communication from the officials there. Not sure what that was all about. Nevertheless, the play resumes as Aker serves it in. New player on the Springfield side, that's McKenny Nunes. And a beautiful block.
They call that a campfire in the volleyball terminology.
That they do. Another new player for the Pride is Kaylee Simino, the sophomore out of Cumberland, Maine, a Northeast native. Stewart mishandled by Spanos, and that's going to make it 12-7, Tufts by 5.
And Stewart and Bright have really rebounded from the beginning of that first set and have presented a lot of strong points as captains, landing a bunch of kills and leading the way for the Tufts Jumbos here.
Another new player for the Pride is number 11, Mackenzie Nunes, the setter, the freshman from the Woodlands, Texas, where popular hip-hop band Brockhampton is from, and Nunes, right on cue, cannot get to the ball there. Can't get the dig as that handle went way out of bounds.
One has to wonder whether we will be seeing Brockhampton when they're in town tomorrow if he's here for this New England tournament.
Are they in town tomorrow?
I think they are.
I did not know that.
That's at least what I've heard.
13-7, Tufts extends their lead to 5 as Ariel Zedrick gets ready for the serve. Rotation error.
Bit of a late call from the official there.
Yeah, they actually can't call it until the serve comes in. I'm trying to get some clarification as to what it looks like. Tanner may have been out of position. Yeah, Tanner and Donnelly were out of position.
Certainly not a lot of smiles from the Springfield side. You never want to lose a point on a rotational error like that.
In my 3 years of calling volleyball, have not seen that error called. The college teams are usually really good at that. Oh, a little bit of a collision, but a recovery on the Springfield side. Good recovery there. Bell from behind the 10-foot line rolls one over to Nunes. She handles it. Here's Tanner. Bell with a good dig, falling down dramatically. Here's Bright. Ball is ricocheted back to the Tufts side. Zedrick sets to Holtz and tools on, I believe that was Von Kampen, to make it 15-7 Tufts.
There's a lot of energy behind that point on both sides, and Tufts comes out on top. And they take a very comfortable lead at 8 going into this second half of this third set.
A couple players coming in. Labadorf, the senior, coming back in. And Komets, the senior, coming back in. So a little bit more seasoned vets on the Pride side.
And Springfield is looking to turn around something quickly before they fall to their third consecutive 3-0 loss.
And then a service ace from Ariel Zedrick to make it 16-7. Beautiful serve.
Just a nicely placed ball. Finds wood in the center of a couple Springfield players. Maybe a little miscommunication there.
Textbook, as they said. Zedrick her fourth. There's Kometz off of the set by Labradorf. And Kometz with authority.
And even down two sets and 8 points here in the third set, the Springfield Pride bench has shown a little pride, if you will.
Nice. Well done. Tanner with the serve. She has a really interesting serving technique, which we will not be able to break down because that ball is out of bounds.
A lot of movement in it.
Yeah, lots of movement. Bright, the former Duxbury Dragon, sends it into Lozano. Well, good save from Labradorf and Kometz. Bell from the outside, not much you can do about that
one. Tufts has just been the stronger team, especially in these last couple sets. And when it comes to points of power, the Springfield strength, Tufts has come out on top.
Absolutely. Labradorf with an over-the-head set. That was Von Campen. Oh, almost campfire there, Matt.
Almost a campfire. We do like to see campfires here on JumboCast.
I think that was another 10-foot line violation. This is really surprising. 3 rotation violations on the Pride team in this third set. I mean, you just can't have it.
We'd expect a timeout from more along, but maybe thinks those haven't worked.
Out of bounds by Ashley Tanner, 20-8 Tufts.
And this is turning into nothing short of a shellacking, I'd say.
Yeah, a tough third set for Springfield. I would agree. Gabrielle Bradley back in the game. Bradley had a couple nice points in the second set, the end of the second set. Looks like there's still some rotation stuff on the Pride side. Zedrick's dig is going to go back to the Pride. It's going to be Donnie that handled it. Here's Kometz with the kill, and it's a beauty.
And that's the kind of point that really showcases Springfield's strength. Strong set, strong hit, but those have been few and far between, especially as we've reached the later stages of this game.
New player alert for the Pride is Bridget Walsh, the junior out of Garrison, New York.
One of many New York representatives.
Donnelly with the misplay to make it 21-9. Heather Holtz, if she strings 4 points together, will win this game for the Jumbos. But right now, Labradorf is looking to change that with the set to Kometz. Kometz with the roll shot, but Crone is there. Here's Bell. Bradley with a dig. Oh, what a set. Oh, but it's dug out by Zedrick. Bradley again. Labradorf to Tanner. Great play by Zedrick, and the crowd shows some appreciation there. Turning into a long point. Can Kometz change it? She does. Tools Bridget Bell. And Bridget looking up to the sky as if to ask why.
They weren't able to grab that point, but just goes to show the determination Zedrick has and has kept a lot of these points alive.
Yeah, that was a lovely dig. Mackenzie Nunes with her first serve of the game. Another freshman. Bright is there. Here's Crone to Bradley. Nunes with the set. And it's a kill for Donnelly. 21-11. Springfield stays alive.
That Ryan Crone sophomore combination has been really strong, but they weren't able to pull that one out right there.
Yeah, fresh legs for Springfield doing good things as Nunes gets her second serve. Here's Ryan. Bradley with a good layout dig. Kaylee Simino pushes it over. Bright from the 10-foot line. Here's Simino again outside. Zedrick, similar play to last time. Zedrick is there again. Great reflexes from Ariel Zedrick. Bradley, high dig. And that was Bridget Walsh getting denied at the net by, I believe, Jennifer Ryan, 22-11.
A lot of smiles from the Tufts coaching staff here. You can tell that even when this come to a lead, they certainly don't want this game to even come close in this third set.
Certainly not. 22-11, Tufts doubling up Springfield's score. Here's Furash, one of the better servers on the Tufts side. Set to Walsh, but Akers there. Ryan, an over-the-head free ball. Nunes with the set right into Furash's face.
Furash has taken a couple in this set.
Yeah.
She really is taking the brunt of this the Springfield hits.
Right in her grill. Jen Donley getting ready to serve for the Pride. I would call her the captain as that serve goes out of bounds. 23-12. Now, I don't know if this is a printing error on the roster or not, but no captains listed. You'd figure Jen Donley would be the captain if there was one. Lozano to Nunes to Simino, way out of bounds, 2 out of bounds in a row for the Pride. And 1 point separating the Jumbos from a shutout victory. Bridget Bell will be the one to end it.
You can feel the anticipation on the Tufts bench.
There's Bradley. Oh, good save by Nunes. Bradley pushes it over. Furash with the set. And poetic last kill as it's Jenny Ryan to end the game.
Jenny Ryan with a strong game. A real dominant front court, would you say, for the Tufts volleyball here, as they really just came out strong and made this a quick victory over a team with a 19-4 record.
In spite of injuries to the best offensive player on the team, Kate Dessler, and a benching of one of the better defensive players on the team, Christina Nwangpa, Tufts still managed to pitch a shutout on the backs of sophomores Jordan Crone and Jenny Ryan. Tufts playing a doubleheader tomorrow to round out this New England tournament against Babson and MIT, 2 other first-place teams in the NUMAC. Those games will be taking place at MIT, just a few red line stops down Mass Ave.
And you know, Coach Cora Thompson may not even know what she did today, but it certainly worked out here, and she would love to see that continue tomorrow.
Absolutely. For you JumboCast volleyball fans, tune in next week. We'll be covering Tufts vs. Connecticut College and Tufts vs. Wesleyan, a top team in the NESCAP. So be sure to tune in for that, and we will be covering the football game tomorrow. So on behalf of Matt Soderberg, on behalf of cameraman Lucas Pyle, and director Ethan Zaharoni, thank you all for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a lovely night.
Go Raptors.